We don't want any student to take any this particular step, right? The important thing is highlight part. What do you highlight, right? In general. आप अगर IIT JEE की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, बाकी लोग क्या सोचेंगे वो आपके लिए रेलेवेंट नहीं है. We want to be known as an educational city, not as a city which is famous for such kind of things.
You know the ranks, you've seen the movies, you think you know Kota. Think again. Welcome to EdTake, the Kota Chapter, where we are ditching the headlines to bring you the ground reality, straight from the classrooms. Pressure क्या है? Teachers क्या सोच रहे हैं? और AI इस legacy system को कैसे shake up कर रहा है? इन सब सवालों के साथ. It's time to listen to the real voices of the student capital of India, Kota.
Yeah, my name is Pankaj, and I've been teaching for the last 12-13 years. I've been teaching maths for the IIT JEE students, and I completed my graduation from IIT Bombay in 2012. Before that, I was in Kota as a student in class 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. I was here in Kota.
So as you said that you have been a student for the past few years, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I would like to ask you that being a student and now being a teacher, how do you feel? Like you have seen Kota growing day by day. So how do you feel the difference? What are the things?
In terms of differences, I would first like to talk about the similarities, because being a student, when I was a student, I saw my teachers, and that particular thing motivated me to actually take up teaching as a career, right? Because the teachers there were very focused, very helpful, and very good for that matter, right? So that was one of the aspects, right? Okay, I can be of similar kind of help to the students, and I can be so dedicated to my students so that they get the best of the facilities in terms of, let us say, education point of view. And not only that, the teachers were pretty motivating even then, and as a teacher now I try to be similarly very motivating, very helpful to the students. In general, you will find that this is a constant, that the teachers in Kota have focused on providing the best kind of facilities to the students. That's something which has been a constant.
Right.
In general, with times things do change, there's no doubt about that. Earlier, when I was a student, the number of students coming to Kota was pretty less. Gradually, the number of students increased, and currently we are somewhere in the middle, right? So the number of students has changed. The amount of facilities the students were getting earlier during my time as a student, number of facilities were less. The number of facilities has gradually increased, to be precise, right? And increased up to a great extent for that matter, and with some positives and some negatives as well, because you can see that students can easily get distracted in the time frame that we have currently, right? And otherwise, it's been lovely so far, right?
Well, if we see this, the educational hub being Kota an educational hub, we see news of like increasing suicide rates, the negative aspects that have been following up in the news. So being like when I first visited Kota, I've seen that when while talking to the students, while talking to other teachers, I have seen a different aspect. It's like a friendly behavior, it's a healthy behavior, I must say. So how do you see it?
The two things I would like to discuss over here. First is that something that you have observed, it is a good thing that you observed that the students and the general framework is quite friendly, right? Which is a fact, there's no doubt about that. Yes, there have been instances in the past, there's no doubt about that. Earlier there was an increase, but then currently we are at a pretty decent level. We are not facing any such difficulties as such currently, right? The point is that the number of students that were coming to Kota has been huge, right? Has seen huge increase, right? But is it a reason for that? No, I'm not giving any reason for that. Reasons are multifold, right? And other than that, the important thing is highlight part. What do you highlight, right? In general, it being media persons, a lot of things can be highlighted, and this is one aspect which is very serious for that matter. As a city, we are trying to focus on the on, let us say, decreasing this particular aspect, right? Somehow to gauge the reasons for these, and there have been multiple steps that have been taken in the past, and multiple steps are being taken gradually to actually reduce this number to zero. Because even one life is very important, right?
Right.
Even one life is very important, because we want to be known as an educational city, not as a city which is famous for such kind of activities.
Right.
Students face difficulties, yes, being students they face a lot of difficulties, but then as institutes, as teachers, we are here to help the students, not to pressurize them up to that kind of an extent where they take these extreme steps. That's very bad. We don't want any student to take any this particular step, right? This is the worst that can happen.
Right.
But then, yes, numbers have been there. We cannot deny that. The recent numbers have reduced hugely, for
Right.
that matter. The recent numbers you can encounter in the past year, you will not find any such numbers, right? For that matter. Earlier, yes, there was an increase. In a year, there were roughly more than 10 for that matter. And in the past year, the number has reduced drastically
Right.
because of the steps.
So, being a as you have stayed here for multiple years, and you know that from childhood, so and now you're a teacher. So, apart from results and ranks, how would you like to describe Kota?
Results and ranks. People actually see the results and ranks first. That's something which is there. But if you actually see the crux of this particular thing, right? When you look at Kota, the institutes of Kota, do they actually provide some kind of a degree certificate? No. Do they provide some kind of a mark sheet? No. So still people come to Kota, and they come to Kota in lots and lots of numbers. So what is it that the students find here, which is not to be found at other places? The level of dedication and the level of education that they find over there. That's the important thing. Because if I, for example, as a student, if I'm sitting in some city A, and if I'm getting, let us say, some facility at, say, let us say, if I'm getting a facility which is level 5, for example, let us say, in terms of education background, for example. And for example, if Kota provides me level 5, beyond level 5, if Kota provides me only level 6, I would like, okay, it is not such a big investment for me. I'll manage with level 5. I'll focus on my own development in my own city. Why do I need to go to Kota? But Kota does not give you level 6. Kota gives you at least level 10. That's the kind of thing. Right? When I put into numbers, because I'm a maths person, I put things into numbers. It is easier to understand numbers, right? So Kota actually gives you that particular level of improvement, that over anywhere you are studying, over that level, what you will get over here is something which is hugely, let us say, greater in terms of the education capabilities, in terms of the facilities that you're provided, in terms of the teachers that you're getting over here, right? In terms of the environment that you're getting over here. So this particular thing cannot be easily availed at any place, for that matter. Probably your hometown or some other nearby town, right? So therefore, people are, or students in general, want to come to Kota. That's the major reason for that, right?
Right.
That the students willingly want to come to Kota for studying. There's only one aspect, that is studying, nothing else other than that.
Most people remember their toughest subject, like being a student. I'm a humanities student, so I am scared of maths and numbers. And most of my team members are also from humanities background. So I used to get scared of my maths teacher. I used to get scared of numbers and everything. So what do you, how do you want to be remembered to your students?
Okay. First of all, I would like to talk about that part where you're afraid of mathematics, right? Maths in general is one of those subjects, if you compare, let's say, physics, chemistry, maths, or languages for that matter, right? So, science in general, for example, a student, when does he start studying science actually? You'll see that science actually comes somewhere around class 6th. Whereas languages and maths, they are like right there from the very beginning as a student. So that fear of maths actually starts not in, let us say, in 11th or 10th or 9th. It starts very early, probably in first second only. It has started over there, because you start hating those numbers, kind of a thing. You don't want to remember those tables. Maths actually requires efforts, there's no doubt about that, right? So as a child, if you have put in some efforts, either willingly or by force from your teachers or from parents. I did not like maths initially. I still remember my father teaching me and putting pressure on me to memorize things, memorize tables and everything, right? So people who actually remember these things may find maths very interesting in general, right? And as we all know, maths is very important, very relevant. And with the advent of all of these languages, coding and AI and everything, people always talk about one very important aspect, which is the development of logic. Use of AI is a very big thing now. आज से यही होगा, आज के बाद भी ये होगा, लाइफ टाइम यही होगा.